Hello, Credo. If you can hear barking in the background, let me know. That just lets me know that my audio is working. Just a reminder, if you have headphones, make sure that they are on. Reminder, if you have Let me know if you can hear me, please, if you are on right now. Hello? Whoa, 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 whoa. Yes, hello, Jake Woodson. Can you hear me okay, Jake? Perfect. We will get started in just about 2 minutes. And this one is a bop. Yes, Pachim. Yes, Roger. Thank you. Aha, you're on. I have Praise Ye the Lord of Hosts stuck in my head right now. Yes, I am drinking coffee at 6 o'clock today. I am tired. Today's been a day. Our first live in-person worship. Funnily enough, 2 services. I got home and I actually ate entirely too many carbs from Torchy's, but then I promptly crashed on the couch. Casey, is the music in Dropbox? Casey, it was sent via email as well as posted on the Facebook group. And hello, Mike. So if you need those links, they will be in the group. So, all right, let me see what time. It's 6 o'clock on the dot. Perfect. We'll get started in just a hot second. Okay, you'll get it. Fantastic. Yeah, I don't want to open another tab to send links just in case something goes wrong and awry with my streaming service. And for some reason, my puppy dog is right outside the window barking, and hopefully my wife takes care of him. So, and as you can hear, she just said hush, so obviously that's not going to happen. So, if he keeps barking, I apologize. Okay, 6:01. In in the music, I already have the breath marks and all the markings put in here. Like I told the ladies last week, essentially these obviously are not optimal breath marks. If we were in person, they would be different. But just I'm thinking for recording purposes about what's not going to cause an untimely demise for you all. We're going to make these a little shorter. So, yes, they're going to feel a little choppy on the phrases, but that still doesn't mean we can't be musical with them. So, as with other stuff, as an example, if I would like if I need you to do, hey Mark, if I need you to do a rest on a downbeat of like an entire beat, I just went ahead and wrote in quarter rest. If I have a breath mark, essentially like that, that means a half of a beat. But I just figured I'll just go ahead and put in the eighth rest for you, so you can all feel it and know exactly what it is. So, okay, let me see. 7 on, fantastic. 6:02 literally will give us no more than 120 seconds left, and then we're going. We're only going to do the mag of the Stanford for right now. We won't do the nunc. So when you get to the last page, you're going to see there'll be some other stuff, but we're not going to get there just yet, so don't worry about it. And yes, if you look at my screen, you can't see it, but the title of this is Stanford Mag and G Opus 81 Virtual, because I have another one that has completely different breath marks on it. So basses, I will go ahead and tell you, there's a couple of places, page 10 in particular, that just eat your Wheaties. I mean, we're going decently fast, so you're not going to have to be gasping for air, but just know that that'll be a longer phrase. No breath after Abraham, things like that. So if you have the marked scores, just make sure that you are following those along. One other thing before we get started, page 9, everybody. This is Israel. I actually would like for us to have no schwa, so no l at the end. Just close Israel, and we don't have to have any l at the end. Okay, that's the one thing that I made a change on for this. All right, we're going to get started because we only have so much time. All right. Let me see. Oh, Mark, where did we find the music? Mark, it was sent to you via email as well as in the Facebook group. There are links. So if you just go in there and search in the Facebook group, that will help you find that link. Okay. So let's go ahead and start from the top of the bag. So this whole thing is essentially this lovely soprano solo, and then the choir comes in afterwards. And if you were in the call last week with Andrea, it was funny. Essentially, yes, you are not backup singers, although it is very easy to feel like soprano and the backup singers on this. But just know that without you, there is something lost. So it's equally important. All right, basically your first phrase is probably one of your longest ones. So let's just speak this once. So this is in 2, so it's 1, 2, 1. For he hath regarded the lowliness of his handmaiden. And same for this, maiden. We don't want a n at the end of this, just because we don't want to disrupt the soprano big soar at the top. So just close to the N, and we want no schwa. Okay, so can't draw today. So none of our uhs at the end. Okay. All right, let's do this, please. Let's go ahead and start with the tenors. Here we go. Ready, guys? 1 and 2 and a 1. For he hath regarded the lowliness of his handmaiden. That's all it is. And bass baritones from pick you up in just a second, but you can use the same musicality when you're doing this. His handmaiden. Hand into maid. Make sure that you really give that a little gas, okay? All right, let's do this once more, please, for the tenors. Baritone, bass, there's your starting pitch. Tenor, there's your starting pitch. Here we go. 1 and 2 and a 1. For he hath regarded the lowliness of his handmaiden. Ooh, okay, hope you made it. I'm sitting down while I'm doing this, obviously. If you're at the house, if you're standing while you're watching rehearsal, that's probably for the best because you at least get a little better on the breathing. All right, let's take a listen for the baritone line because, in my opinion, The baritone line is probably one of the most difficult for this particular piece because it's just all in the middle. The bass, you get a lot of help from the actual pedal notes in the organ, but the baritones you're kind of fending for yourself a lot of times. Here we go, baritones, please. Bottom of the first page. 1, 2, and a 1. For he hath regarded the lowliness of his handmaiden. And I just messed up because I'm turning a page. Let's take a look at regarded the low. Bottom of the first page, we'll have regarded the lowliness, sorry, guarded the lowliness. Let's do that once more. Guarded. Ready, God. Guarded the lowliness. Let's do that in time, please. Here we go. Regarded. 2 and a 1. Regarded the lowliness of his handmaiden. Good. That is a tricky part, in my opinion, especially that jump, that F to the B, because it doesn't feel like it should be part of the movement. If you put that in context with the other parts, you have this. Actually, that's what that is. Yes. So we have guarded the lowliness. Okay, it fits in there and it's snug. So just make sure that you know what's coming. Let's do that in once more all the way through baritones. Here we go. 2 and a 1. For he hath regarded the lowliness of his handmaiden. And no schwa. Basses. Not too hard. Same thing up to that point, except when you get to handmaiden, then you're good. Let's start at 17 with the basses to keep this a little concatenated. Yep. Here we go. His and 2. His handmaiden. All it is. Make sure you have a D natural on your maiden and not a D sharp. All right, let's take a look at the next part, please. Blessed, blessed. And then we have the D that happens on the downbeat of beat 2, macro beat 2. So we have a lift on the end of 2. Blessed, blessed. Right? So make sure that we don't emphasize the second syllable of blessed. Okay? So here we go. There's your first blessed. Let's just listen to your parts one time through, please. Here we go. 3. That's all right. 1 and 2. Blessed, blessed. Not hard. The hardest thing is making sure you write emphasis on the right syllables and still making this just buttery smooth. Okay? Here we go. Let's sing the tenor part, please. 2 and 1 and 2. Blessed, blessed. And that last B natural. Don't do what I just did and go flat on it, but make sure that you're thinking it's raised, okay? Lifted. One thing, and this is for all peoples, on bar 28, when you just have a sustained whole note, and you're going to want to move with the music, and you're going to want to swell, that's completely fine, but you need to not, right here, do not change the shape on the inside of your mouth. Keep it open. Blessed. No crunchy crunchy or pushing or anything like that where you close down on the space, okay? I can just hear that E vowel doing that in rehearsal. Okay, baritones, basses. You get one note. Here we go. 1 and 2. Blessed, blessed. And a 1. That's our next chunk. And this is the one place where I want you to, baritones, basses, and tenors, you guys are the crux. And the altos help you out, but notice on and holy, baritones and basses, you guys have an F sharp right here. Important note. And then the tenors, when you guys get here, it is no longer an F sharp. It is an F natural. Okay? So just know that if I'm a tenor, and holy, that's what you're going to hear. If I'm a bass baritone, and holy, holy, make sure that you have listened and felt the space on 34. So let's just take a listen to that for the baritones and basses. As your starting pitch, this is bar 33. 2 and a 1. And holy, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba. Now, if I weren't to play anything in the bass and we just played your part, that sounds like something you can eat for breakfast, correct? Yes. But when you add all the other harmonies to that, it changes that note. It's going to throw you, so you need to be spot on. So if I were to add things, holy, completely changes the color and the texture of that. So just know that who's going to have the hard part? Bass and baritones right here. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and start at 33, please. And then we're going to do these 3 bars, and then we're going to move on real fast. Here we go. 33, both parts. And 1. And holy. And then the tenors have the F natural. Next chunk. Holy, holy is his name. And right here, name. I don't want it to go ma. I don't want that, but we do need to hear the release, and it can't just name. We don't want that. Okay, so don't go too far, but don't not do it. Okay, on your release on name. So I just played that, and I sang the tenor line right here. Notice, guys, that I'm asking for an extremely quick release on holy. Holy, ho, holy, ho, holy, ho. That's what's going on right there. So just know it's not even meant for you to necessarily have to catch a breath. It's more meant just for the comma and just the sentence syntax structure. Okay, let's start, please, with the basses and the baritones. You guys have a fun little part on the last 2 measures on the bottom of page 4. Yeah, it's a good earworm. Let's sing that, please. Here we go. 2. Last 2 measures on the bottom of page 4, bass and baritone. Ready? And holy is his name. Yeah, so go ahead and mark this lovely interval right there, that tritone. Yep. Or augmented fifth. All right, guys. Let's do that once more, bass and baritones, please. Here we go. Let's start back 1 bar, holy. Ready? And holy, holy is his name. Keep going. And his mercy is on them that fear him throughout all generations. Yeah, I love this part on page 5. I think it's gorgeous. Let's do that once more, bass, baritones, and his mercy. 2 and a 1. And his mercy is on them that fear him throughout all generations. Good, and let's go ahead and clarify our vowel. Generation, not gene, no ins, but generation. Okay? Tenors, let's pick you guys up top of 5, and His mercy. And also, it's not mercy, it's mercy. There is no in any of that. Yep, here we go. And 1. And His mercy is on them that fear Him throughout all generations. There you go. Now, here's the deal. Tenors. You guys, we don't really, well, we care, but not that much about your last pitch. So, when you go down, reset on the shuns and do a little bit of smile, please, for me. And just let it sit. We don't need it to no operatic stuff right there. It just needs to sit, okay, in the pocket. Let's do both parts, please, and His mercy. Here we go. Top of 5. I'll sing the tenor line since we've done the bass baritone enough. 2 and 1. And His mercy is on them that fear Him throughout all generations. And that's all that is. Okay, let's get into that, guys. Can we start, please? Bottom of page 4. And holy, holy. Yeah. Just remember what this sounds like. And holy, holy, holy is His name. Yeah, there we go. Let's sing that, please. Bottom of 4. And 1. And holy, holy, holy is His 1 and 2 and lift. And His mercy is on them that fear Him throughout all generations. Good for you guys. I'm sure that you were just perfect then. If you have any questions on that, let me know and we'll get back to that. Let me look at the time. You know what? We will take care of this next chunk at the next rehearsal, because this is a little different portion, and it's a whole nother chunk, and we'll swap gears. Okay? All right. For right now, let's put that away and take a look at the Victoria. The O Magnum Mysterium. So, while you're getting that open, go ahead and I'm going to clarify a couple of things, a couple of my markings. The little commas in the music that you see, those are for, we're that's for the 8th rest. If it needs to be a quarter, I have dictated an actual quarter rest in the music, and I don't actually know if that happens anywhere. No, it doesn't. I did, however, on the last page, that 3rd measure, I put a comma, and then I went, well, I'm going to make sure they know exactly where that 8th rest is. On that right there, it's on the and of 2. Okay? So that is on the and of 2. So what is that? Oof. Need to get a different color. So different color. Come on. I'll go with this one. So that is quarter, and then 8th, and then quarter, and then there's your 8th. So beat 1, beat 2, and there's the and. Okay? There's all my scribble. I'm going to take that off now. Hayden, you said, can I hear the bottom of 4 one more time to make sure I get the F natural? Hayden, I will send you a file so you can practice that. So I apologize. I just saw that. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Those of you, actually, how many of you have sung the Victoria? I'm fairly certain. If you have, type in the box and let me know. Again, just like with the other piece, these are not the optimal breath marks, but they are ones that I think that we can actually realistically get away with and do without needing oxygen beside us. So, All right, Yuki. I know most of you. Yes, Jake, Mark. I know that Mark has. Obviously, Jake. I'm sure Casey has. Maybe Hayden. Maybe not. I'm not quite sure. I'm sure Mike has as well. Let's go ahead and start right here. Ooh, sorry. Since the tenors come in, we're going to go ahead and do their part first. We're going to go tenors. Oh. We're going to go from page 1 all the way to page 2 to the middle system. So about to the right here, right before your yacentum. Okay. Before we get there, let's real fast. You remember your words. Oh, magnum, and it's not mag. Magnum. So it's like onion. Magnum mysterium et admirabile sacramentum. And I actually just did something wrong. The T does not need to be hard. I would like for all of your your D's and your T's to be dental. Okay, so mentum. Just diminish them. There doesn't need to be a lot of thing going on. Okay. All right, tenors. Let's go. We'll be in 2. Ooh, goodness. And if you haven't by now, take a sip of water. Here we go. And 1. O magnum mysterium et admirabile sacrament. Oh! I was singing other parts. I'm so sorry. Let's start, please, back. I apologize, tenors. Let's start at bar 12. Et admirabile. Here we go. And 1. Et admirabile sacramentum. Et admirabile sacramentum. Ut animalia viderent Dominum natum, viderent Dominum natum. Oh, and take a big breath. So this breath right here is going to save you. If you miss it, you're going to rue the day, and that would not be good. So that seems like a lot to do in one chunk. However, it's a great place to think of as the first chunk. Tenors, we're going to come back and pick you up again to have another go at it. But before we do that, I want to do a couple of spot checks for the tenors, and then we'll pick up the basses. First spot check, sacramentum, right here. So at the bottom of the first page, first bar. Admirabile sacramentum. Yadam. That last, at the end of those phrases, I want you to treat those like a caricature. That you come away so far that it feels ridiculous to you. For right now, I want to take us to the extreme first, and then we can find a happy place later. Okay, so make sure that you're giving me a massive decrescendo on those last quarter notes. Okay, one other place, tenors. Et admirabile sacra, right there on the last measure, the first page. Et admirabile sacra. And this goes to the basses too. When you get to the S of sacramentum, please give me just a lot of weight on that one syllable. Sacramentum. Okay? And then that's all I have for you as far as some accents things go. One more tenors on your last natum. Right there. This is the same thing as earlier. We don't need much. Dominum natum. You can give me a crescendo on na, and you can feel the movement. But when you get the tune, I want you to fake everybody out, and they're gonna think you're going na tum da. We don't want that. Na tum. Let the basses take us off to the races on their next chunk. Okay, you back off on tum. So just so we know what's going on there. All right, basses. Here we go. 1 and 2. Om magnum mysterium et admirabile sacrament. Admirabile sacrament ut animalia. Right there, basses. Watch your F sharp, okay? And when you get to your ah, smile. And that ah needs to be minimal vibrato, please. Yeah? So if I start at the ut on, right there, the top of page 2 for you guys, beat 4, you'll have 1 and, excuse me, 1 and, ut animalia. So make sure that it's not ah. We want it minimal vibrato on that. Ut animalia. 2 and 1. Keep going and viderunt Dominum natum. And that for you guys, you lead the charge on the na. Okay. So the sopranos and the altos are taking it away. The tenors aren't doing too much because they're moving then, yeah? Never let the vibrato on your held notes, though, on this particular style of music get the better of you, okay? We never want it, we want it to be an open tone, but we don't want it to be over the top. We're not singing Wagner, okay? This is not Wagner Comes to Victoria, okay? Here we go. Let's start, please. Top of page 2, basses. Viderunt. Here we go. Last 3 bars. 1 and viderunt Dominum natum. And 1 and 2 and 1 and Iacentem in pre. And then we'll get into the next part next week on this. Okay, guys, let's do this once, please, from the top. Both parts, please. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 1. Om magnum mysterium admirabile sacramentum ad admirabile sacramentum ut animalia viderunt Dominum natum. Viderunt Dominum natum. And then we'll go to town. Okay. All right, guys. I hope this was beneficial to you, and I will see you all in a Zoom call in about 30 seconds. All right, guys. See you in a second.